11,938 is how we're shutting shop for the Nifty futures. Breath in favor of the declines. Vedanta, of course, the biggest eyesore, 20% lower. Motherson Sumi goes home with a 6.25% loss. Z, after issues with Citi as well, sees a 5% cut. Kotak Bank, BOB have been some of the other laggards, along with the Balkrishna Industries and IGL as well as laggards. The one trend today has really been IT, and it's the sector performer that's really stood out, be it TCS, Wipro, HCL Technologies, TechM, or for that matter, Coforge and Mindtree, which have had a bigger move as opposed to their large cap peers. Coforge goes home with an over 9% gain on the futures, and Mindtree is well held out by about 4.5%. And Infy amongst the large cap boys was the stronger one of the lot with a near 3% move. Shriram Transport, GMR Infra were some of the other gators from within the liquid universe, and then SRF as well. There's buzz of a buyback, 2.6% higher on SRF, closes in at 4,400 on the CNP. Abha, what are you spotting? Okay, those are of course the big buzzers in trade. Just going to quickly bring up some of the other movers as well and show you what else really happened when it came to the liquid universe. The laggards, of course, were largely from within the financial universe, barring, of course, Vedanta and Motherson Sumi. Like I said, a BOB, Kotak Bank, Indiabulls Housing, RBL Bank. You had also the likes of Bharti and Idea both under pressure, ICICI Bank, IDFC First, Ashok Leyland, Apollo Tyres, Balkrishna Industries. These were all laggards in trade today, as was the case with the Tata Motors, with the PNB, Amara Batteries, IGL, and HPCL too. From amongst the winners, barring IT, there's also Escorts which held out. Biocon did well, Cipla, Torrent Pharma. So clearly the defensive tilt of the market really got back today, with the DRL as well leading by about 1.6%. More money in the hands of government employees, and you had some of the discretionary spends do out well. So in Asian Paints, for instance, looked good by about 1.6%. And my guess is that the white goods companies as well should have seen some amount of bounce coming in. All in all, Kunal, I know there's disappointment that we didn't quite close at 12K, but it's not bad. You know, the fact that we attempted 12K and we're closing in okay, around 11,940 thereabouts.
Well, yeah, I think, Aisha, I think I'll probably take this, even a 20-point uptick on the Nifty is still at a positive sign. So yes, on one hand, some traders could probably try and compare of what happened to the few Asian indices today, and many of these Asian indices were up more than 1.5%. And trying to compare with the Nifty, but hey, the Nifty in the last 10 days has already rallied by more than 1,100, 1,200 points. So that's much more than what probably one could have anticipated or expected on the indices. And I think such kind of a flattish day, I think if it happens, say for the series of the next 1 week as well, I think it should not dent a short-term traders' perspective as such, because after these kind of ferocious rallies, generally traders tend to miss out the second half of the rally. The first half becomes more easier to catch, but then when there is some sort of an overbought nature on stock prices, etc., which gets created, traders tend to lose out their positions on midway, and those typically now tend to act as support levels or pivot points. So which is why I believe that the markets would probably want to continue up higher of what they've gained the last 10 days. I think the global markets support what we've seen happening for the US indices, except for 1 or 2 odd days in the last 10-15 days as well. There's hardly been any major correction over there as well. So I think these global markets tend to support quite well. I think after a bit of a lull, I would expect that the indices would keep on moving up higher. Now the texture today of the market is again smelling of the same kind of stocks, the Nifty, ITs and the pharma. So when you end the day, we've seen both these stocks, both these sectors doing exceptionally well. And maybe a few of the other movers like ITC, etc., which try to support the markets overall. But if you have the same sort of a texture where the ITs and the pharmas would continue to move up higher, then the markets would want to continue to behave in the same sort of a trend. So I would believe that in all aspects, it looks like that this trend should continue after a bit of a pause on the index.
Sure. Okay, Kunal, great to have you join in today's trading session, 11,936 after flattering and taking us all the way to 12K.